Hello everybody, I'm MischiefWoW and I'm back for another video. This is going to be on how to get some titles. I'm only going to be showing you titles that I currently have, but I'll probably make a video in the future showing you some other titles. So, if you're really new to the game and you don't know anything, to go to your titles, hit your C key or click your character info button and click this. This is your title. If your thing shows up like this, click this arrow and it will expand, and click this to show titles. That's just for anyone who absolutely doesn't know. So the Ambassador title you get from getting the Reputation, Achievement, Ambassador of the Alliance, or Ambassador of the Horde. So you have to get exalted with all 6 of the Horde or Alliance factions, depending on which you are, Horde or Alliance. Assistant Professor and Associate Professor are both archaeology titles, and you can find those in the Professions Archaeology from finding rare artifacts. So basically you just do archaeology for a long time and you'll get those titles. Baena the Fallen King you get from defeating the Lich King in ICC on heroic difficulty. This is pretty easy with a decent group that knows the fight in Cataclysm, because we're all 85 and we can easily destroy the Lich King even on heroic mode, so that's this achievement. You still need to know the fight. You can't just ignore the mechanics and destroy through it like some fights, but it's pretty easy. Brewmaster you basically get from doing all the Brewfest achievements. I'm not going to go into detail for that one. I might make a sub-guide for that later. Champion of the Frozen Wastes. Basically you go to dungeons and raids. And for this one you have to complete a bunch of heroic Wrath of the Lich King dungeons, as well as complete the final boss in a few Lich King raids. All of these are really easy at level 85, so it shouldn't be a problem getting this one, but it might be difficult finding a group, unless you can solo it, because some of them are soloable. The Crusader title you get from the Argent tournaments. You get from Exalted Argent Champion of the Alliance. Basically, you have to finish off the dailies for each of your factions for the Alliance or the Horde and be exalted with all of them. Now, there's a subtitle for each of them being exalted with that faction and finishing the Argent tournament sections. You get of Darnassus, of the Exodar, of Ironforge, of Stormwind, of Normergon, or for the Horde, like of Orgrimmar, of Thunderbluff, whatever. Defender of the Shattered World is basically the champion of the Frozen Wastes, but for Cataclysm. And at 4.3, it's not incredibly difficult. There still can be some challenges. You have to do all the heroic dungeons before ZG and ZA and the Hour of Twilight ones. And you have to do Bastion of Twilight, Blackwing Descent, and Throne of the Four Winds. So basically, all the dungeons and raids before 4.1.
Elder you get from doing all the Lunar Festival achievements, I won't go over that one. Flame Warden from doing all the Midsummer Fire Festival achievements, I won't go over that one.
Jenkins is a very easy title you can get at a low level. You get from the Leroy achievement. It's a pretty funny reference. Well, not really, but basically you have to go into, it's one of the Blackrock instances, I can't remember off the top of my head, and you basically have to AoE 50 whelps in 15 seconds that come from the eggs. If you're high enough level to get into that instance, you can just ask 185 to go with you and just AoE them down, or AoE them yourself. I'm sorry I don't know exactly how to get there and everything. This is just a general titles guide. If you want to know any kind of detailed titles, leave a comment and I will do a video on that.
Mayor Maker you get from doing all the Winter's Veil achievements. Patron, or Matron I believe if your character is female, you get from doing all the Children's Week achievements.
Twilight Vanquisher you get from doing the Sartharion boss in Obsidian Sanctum. That is a Lich King raid. It's very easy to get now, especially. I did this during Wrath of the Lich King, but it's very easy now. Basically, you have to kill him, Sartharion, in 25-man with all the Drakes up. Basically, clear all the trash and kill the boss. It's just a Zerg. You kill him in like 30 seconds with enough DPS. You can like 10-man the 25-man version. It's crazy easy. Of Darnassus, Gnomeregan, Ironforge, Stormwind, Exodar, all those ones I explained before from the Argent Tournament. I've already been over them. Of the Ashen Verdict, you get from becoming exalted with the Ashen Verdict. Basically, if you do ICC, Trash and Bosses, you get rep. It'll take a while if you haven't done ICC before, and it'll be a long grind, but you can easily clear the whole place, and a few full clears of ICC will get you this achievement, so get puggin'. The Astral Walker title you get from defeating Algalon, the final boss of Ulduar, in 25-man. It's pretty easy. The Explorer you basically get from exploring the whole world. This will take a while, and you need to be pretty much level capped to get into all the zones. I believe you do not need to explore Tol Barad. Yeah, I don't think there's even an achievement for exploring Tol Barad. So yeah, that's that.
The Hallowed you get from doing the Hallow's End achievements. I won't go over that one.
The Kingslayer you get from defeating Lich King on 10-player mode. It's basically the same as Heroic, just a little easier.
The Loveful you get from doing Love is in the Air. Noble you get from doing Noble Garden.
The Patient is probably the easiest possible title to get ever. You get it basically if you do it's one of these two. I think it's 50 random players with heroic dungeons. That amounts to just 10 heroic dungeons to get that title. That's extremely easy. These can be Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, or Cataclysm dungeons, as long as you use the Dungeon Finder in their heroic dungeons.
And Pilgrim is just from doing the Pilgrim's Bounty achievements.
So if you want to know any more in depth for these titles, like how to do Ulduar, it's pretty easy, but some people might not even know what Ulduar is if you're new to the game and don't even know what titles are, or how to get the Leroy or the Jenkins or Leroy achievement, the Jenkins title. If you leave a comment, I will make that video. This is just a brief kind of overview of some of the titles I have and how to get them. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like, favorite, subscribe, and yeah, peace.